All right, so a few days ago, I released a really long video where I was going over most of my ideas for the rats in the game, and I just knew that I wanted to have rats, but I wasn't entirely sure what they were going to do, and I was kind of just hoping I could eventually figure something out. So went over a whole bunch of ideas yesterday or last video, and wasn't really happy with the overall set of ideas. I was saying like, oh, I'm gonna have to do it. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, and it might be a big investment to program it in if it's not even that fun, and I'll have to remove it. And I also mentioned like, oh, it'd be really great if I could come up with something I was actually excited about, because then that would help me with my motivation. So anyway, I just gave it another, good few hours of thought today, and I finally got something I'm actually really excited about. I'm so happy with what I with what I came up with compared to last time. So much better than last time. So I'll either be doing exactly this as I'm going to describe now, or very similar to this. So basically, the rats, the main purpose of the rats is on their own, they don't actually do anything, really. But the more rats you kill throughout the level, it's like a karma-based system. So if I don't kill any rats in a level, then at the end of the level, there's no boss. But if I kill one or more rats, then at the end of the level, there's going to be like a giant rat that you have to kill. So if I were to kill just a couple rats, then at the end of the level, I'll run into this boss that's a giant rat, but it'll be like weak. Whereas if I kind of go around killing every rat that I can just for fun, then at the end of the level, there might be like a really strong rat boss, or maybe even multiple big rat bosses. So I'll never actually tell the player that that's what's going to happen, but they'll figure it out pretty quick. So yeah, it's a karma-based system. So if you're a good person and you don't kill rats and you avoid killing rats, you're rewarded for that. And the thing is, the rats, they move randomly. So they'll idle around randomly. Just like they pause in one spot, look around, move a little bit around. Now, if you move, like rats will generally run away from you. So they'll avoid you naturally. And if you were to just walk past a rat, it won't kill the rat. But if you jump on a rat, then it'll kill the rat. And then also, if I were to attack near a rat, it'll also kill the rat, depending on maybe which type of attack. So to avoid killing rats, it for the most part should be easy, but once in a while it'll require skill. Like you're jumping and you're about to land on a rat, and then you have to move out at the last second. And also, rats will randomly have like little tiny bits of things they do. Like for example, if a rat hits an item, it'll start carrying the item, and it'll also move slower. So occasionally a rat will get an item and then it'll start running away from you, and you have to chase it down, but you want to get the item without killing the rat. So the rats they're kind of like a bonus type thing, where I can kill rats, I can not kill rats, and they're both, all that does is it affects the end of the level. Then they're also just mainly a scenery thing. So to have rats kind of idling around, and I'm going to add AI similar to the NPC AI, where it'll actually be quite, they won't just move back and forth like a turtle in Super Mario. They're going to really seem somewhat realistic. And they also run away from you and stuff like that, and run away from enemies too. So it'll give like a realistic feel, like a scenery, like atmospheric type feel. Also, as I mentioned before, if an enemy dies, the rats will start devouring its corpse, and then it'll eventually turn into a skeleton. I think before I was saying that'll give the rats HP. Maybe, but probably all the rats will be one-hit kills, and they'll only devour corpses just for fun, basically. And it's kind of like a magnet. So if you kill an enemy in a certain spot, maybe that'll be slightly helpful, because then the rats will gather in a certain spot. Yeah, but the karma system I really like. The fact that I'm not even going to explain it to the player. I also think that's a really that's adds like a cool element to the game. And yeah, just the atmospheric thing. I think it'll look really good. Before I was thinking that the rats will maybe move a little bit more robotically, and they'll like be kind of like the turtles in Super Mario a little bit more. And then I was also saying that the rats are going to follow you, and there's all. I was worried that a bunch of the. I mentioned a whole bunch of stuff last time, but yeah, basically now the rats are more or less random. They have minor functionality, but the main purpose of them is so that you have to avoid killing them. If the more rats you kill, the harder it is at the very end of the level. And I also mentioned I don't like boss battles, and I wasn't going to have boss battles. Well, I changed my mind. Now I am going to have boss battles. The boss battle will just be a giant rat at the end of each level. The more rats you kill, the harder the giant rat at the end of the level is. And also one of the reasons I didn't want the boss battles was because it would be too much work. But the rat the rat wouldn't be that much work basically. So that. And also, yeah, I won't go into too much detail, but basically right now I'm super happy with that rat idea. So much better than what I was thinking before. And it's really satisfying when I go over and over and over trying to think of ideas, and you finally get something that you're actually happy with. It's so satisfying. For example, I was going to. Well, I'm not going to go into. There's other things where I was thinking of ideas for a long time, and I was satisfied to finally find something. But maybe I'll explain that another time. But yeah, anyway, that last video is pretty much all irrelevant now. I do know what the rats are going to do now, and it's I'm super happy with it. I can. When I thought about my ideas before and I envisioned it, I was thinking like, maybe that'll be good, maybe that won't, but probably not. There's a whole bunch of problems, etc. When I think about this, I'm just like overwhelmingly happy with it. So yeah, I'm very definitely going forward with this. I'm not looking for ideas for rats anymore, as I was kind of hoping somebody might provide. Yeah, I'm totally happy right now with this idea. So anyway, I'm gonna continue on. I'm just gonna add more attacks for the player and maybe get some enemies in. I'm not too worried about the rats now because they're actually going to be a lot easier to program than I was thinking before. So, yeah, I'm just going to proceed with more of the actual game and more player attacks, some enemies, and then, go from there. I'm more focused right now. I think my strategy right now will be more so just finish cleaning everything up and then just kind of do whatever's fun. So I might work on the overworld, might work on some player attacks, some enemies. I'm going to lean toward stuff that affects the actual gameplay, like, player attacks and enemies. But if I really want to do the overworld or something like that, I'll do that instead. But anyway, just thought I'd let you guys know that I'm super happy with that. And there's a whole bunch of things about this game that I'm really excited about. Like the main thing being, in case you didn't know yet, the main character is a real person on a green screen. It's a woman wearing a costume on a green screen, and the costume will change depending on your power up and stuff. And the hair will be animated, but the woman will be real. That's one idea I'm super excited about. The rats I'm super excited about. Some camera related stuff I'm gonna do. I'm super excited about. There's a number of things I'm quite excited about with this game now. But yeah, I think we're on the right track here. So anyway, I'll probably be back next Sunday. But I'm going for just minimum once a week. Okay. Anyway, see ya.